back, everybody. My name is Eltimar, and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Sunless Skies. Where we left off last time, we were leaving New Winchester. We're heading south for Kheryllen area. We're going to try and find Lustrum in this video. That is our goal, although we do need to hit Leadbeater and Steinrod's Nature Reserve, so we're going to head there as well. I have gotten my old microphone working, sort of. The cord mostly works. I think the sound quality is just so much better on this microphone that I'm willing to risk the cord problems in order to have the proper version of sound. Let's also level up our character. So we have a lot of different things we can choose from. We can choose Steam and Soot, the Black Sheep, Haunted, a Metamorphosis, a Coterie, a Lost Love, the August Avenues, a Narrow Escape, a Settler, Smoggy Streets, a Mentor, the Bell Tolls, Family Footsteps, a Scandal, an Interlude in Red and Gold, and a Promise of Days. I kind of want more mirrors, I think, so I'm going to go an Interlude in Red and... actually no, a Promise of Days. Her Majesty offered the earliest pioneers to enter the heavens a grant of 30 years if they would build houses and necessities for those who would follow. You were one of the first through the doors to the sky and accepted the offer. How did you spend the Queen's hours? In toil, you helped lay the foundations of London. You dug its sewers, laid its streets. 30 short years to forge an empire from nothing. We got a sky story from that as well. Interesting. I also learned, thanks to one of my viewers, that you need to equip officers. So, you need to hit the hat somehow. Oh wait, hang on. We have to do also a thing. From the tiara-crested brow downwards, there's nothing about the incognito princess that is not incandescent. She's like the sun, and about as dangerous to anything in the vicinity. Wherever the princess goes, she looks around with a surplus of curiosity, and a complete lack of care. Prove oneself a fit confidant. We needed a sky story, a tale of terror, and we're learning about the incognito princess. While she seems incapable of discerning between the two, the incognito princess seems intrigued by any mention of daring do and abyssal horror. Thrilled by your tales, the princess invites you to her quarters. I have a secret, she says, removing her tiara before donning a second, more expensive tiara. I am Queen Victoria's daughter, she says. I trust your discretion. It's a considerable ask. This must be the captivating princess, the daughter of Victoria who dwells in a miasma of rumors of excess ranging from red honey to cannibalism. A half-asphyxiated starling has somehow found its way on board. It flies to her hand and she pets it gently. One is traveling to broaden one's mind before one takes on a new role. It'd be a delight to meet with the engineers who keep the eternal ball of perdurance tick-tocking away. She smiles. You find yourself outside. Huh. Okay, so how do I make her an officer? You're supposed to equip them somehow, and someone mentioned there'd be a hat when they're active. We'll figure that out in a sec. I mean, it shows them as being there. Maybe it's part of the profile thing? No? How about the hold? We don't want to jettison any of our cargo. We don't really need anything to do with that. Well, I can't hit any buttons, and all I can do is talk to her. Okay, I'm gonna try this, figure this out. Okay, we're continuing on our way. You had to go to dock and click on the circles to equip your officers. So now we have 3 officers. They have hats in their little circles, which means that they are part of our ship, and we have the requisite bonuses for doing so. So there we go. Excellent. We are now well on our way to the south again, back through Scamp's Narrow, and we're off. We'll also talk to our officers more to learn their stories, but I do want to get to the reserve as quickly as possible, drop off the things we need to drop off there, and then, hopefully, fingers crossed, continue on our way east and find Lustrum. We're not going to go down south, obviously, but we're going to go towards Kheryllen and maybe down in this area, hopefully, or maybe over here even. I'm hoping that we can find this town. It is my goal in life, and we'll see. if that'll pan out or not. And we're gonna hit that island. We should probably not do that. The primal music of the reserve has kicked in. I did miss having my microphone. I don't love having it sort of like near my face all the time, but its sound quality is just so much better than the headset I was using. As it will always be, like a sort of professional-ish grade compressor microphone will always be better, or cardioid microphone. Cardioid, I think it is. Anyways, one of those types of microphones will always be better than a headset. That's just the reality of the situation. I will say though, headsets are infinitely more convenient. I've also taken it upon myself to order those cords finally. I ended up just ordering 3, even though it is like... It's ridiculous, because they're $6 each, which is fine, whatever, because they're proprietary. But the shipping charge is like 7 times the price of a cord. It's like $40 US to ship from AT to Canada for some reason. It's because electronics have such a huge customs problem, which I wouldn't care about, except that I can't get these cords from anywhere else, so it's not like I can order a Canadian variant. They don't exist. We're almost at the reserve now. It's south of us, just past this rock. Oh, we're gonna clip that. Oh, that was close. That was almost like a pixel perfect turn. That was a very, very tight turn. Our terror levels are low, which is good. Alright. There were a couple things we needed to do here, as I recall. Gather reports, first of all, of course. Converse with our fellow captains. Anything going on here? No, not really. Alright. We don't need to join a hunting party. We needed to bring something here, didn't we? Thought we had to bring the superior researcher required a cage catch, and we have one. So let's try to find the researcher, I guess. We got another caged catch. Where is the... Oh, maybe she's... Oh, right, okay, we need to go to the other places. The base of research, okay. We need to turn in... Oh, wait. Do we get a bonus for bringing in everything at once? Oh, we need to provide a caged catch for anyways. She requires a live specimen to test her theory about the mushroom you found on Hybris. She claps her hands when she sees what you brought her. It's been too long since I've gotten hands on a half-decent vector. I shall have to let it loose on the reserve when we're done here. Now tell me everything. She smiles serenely when you finish. Luckily for us, the fungus is a lesser intelligence, severed from one infinitely greater. Its methodologies are undoubtedly crude, as you see, if you'll just step this way. Oh. That's it? Oh, watch the superior researcher's demonstration. She's approaching your caged catch with a certain amount of glee. The pernickety factor steps outside, complaining of a sudden headache. My sight's gone all woozy, most distressing. The superior researcher does not notice the interruption. She hands you a watering can, for when it's over, and a poker. You probably won't need it before unlocking the cage. She picks up 2 samples of mushroom in her hands, the violet crocus and a golden cap, like molten butter, and advances on the creature. Let's keep watching. We gained 3 terror, unfortunately. The creature lets out a low moan as she begins applying the purple fungus to its flank. Slowly but surely the flesh begins to stir as pores gently sprout. A scar heals before being overrun with new pods. Quickly, the can. As the fruiting beast is doused, the researcher quickly applies the golden fungus. Okay, let's hear the conclusions. We're lucky in that this is a lesser mushroom, an unworthy mushroom. Indeed, I might go so far as to say a mushroom that should never have spored. She glares at the flaking purple fungus on her desk. This is one of the verdants, albeit a very corrupted one. It has healing properties, though its horizons are very limited. They like to collect things. She rubs a bit of golden sleep from her eyes. If you want to find what happened to your colonists, look for a very large fungus on Hybris. Believe me, there'll be one. The rest will become apparent. Okay. Anything at the ideal? Now, let's not go into the reserve right now. We're fine on that at the moment. We can buy seeds here, but we don't have any quests to grab them yet. We need supply hours, but we don't have any at the moment. There is a good price for seeds here, though. Do we have a quest for seeds? I don't think we do. We have munitions. We need to give panes of stained glass to Titania, which we don't have with us. But we do have this explosive for Lustrum thing that we need to get done. Alright, we're leaving. We have 4 fuel, 4 supplies. That's more than enough. What's the best way to go there? Probably north and then around this thing. Kherillon is the Devil City, if you'll recall from our previous video, but we're not trying to get there. Although it would be fine to get a port report from there. They're worth some money. And we just definitely have to stay away from that bat. That thing was not okay. If we do run low on supplies, though, we can totally stop in the Devil City and pick up some fuel and food. I'm pretty sure it has both. I think only Hybris didn't have fuel. And it is... C is cruise control? Yep, perfect. So we're gonna fingers crossed no enemies on this journey. We're at full hull though, so we could probably run into a Marauder or two with no problems. We're just hoping for no giant horror bats, or even one of those weird shrieker things that shoot those little balls of energy. They're kind of nasty as well. Not nearly as nasty as the bat, but still. Things we don't want to run into. There are lots of them. And we've used up another fuel. We still have... Uh-oh. A medical emergency. The settler from Port Prosper staggers onto the bridge, clutching his throat. He appears to be in some distress. Indeed, hair sprouts like invasive weed from every follicle of his body, forcing its way out. Let's keep him for study. We now have 1 condemned experiment. You ignore the looks of your crew give you as you order the corpse taken to the cold storage. Those with hearty stomachs can assist with a thorough examination later. For now, the mop and broom. Well, we need to inspire more settlers eventually. That one exploded into fur. Not ideal. We're getting back to the cold. Snow whips your locomotive. Your stokers work double shifts at the boiler. Alright. So we're gonna try and go in here and see if we can go down this way. We're definitely not heading south. That is suicide for sure. The Bonnie Shepherds. We gained some experience. I'm sending out my bat to see if there's anything around. It found nothing. It complained about the cold though, so at least it did go out in the cold, I suppose. That's a ship. I'm not even sure what kind of ship that is. It's making a weird sound though. Great. No, stupid shriekers. You know what? Let's just leave it. If it doesn't fight us, we're not gonna fight it. The Desolation of Salaba. Not a good sounding place. There's another horror here. Turning. We're gonna try and get past it without waking it up. Why is the sky a different color now though? That is worrisome, to say the least. And there's a weird sound happening. Great. I shot it twice. It's called the Curator. I have no idea if we can even win a fight against it. We're running away as fast as we can towards Kherillon. That's exactly what I was hoping for. It's coming for us. Maybe? It's hard to tell. Why are there so many horrors? Well, we're close to Carillon at least. The bat is sort of chasing us. I still hear a weird sound. We did not get as far into the ice places I was hoping we'd get into to find Lustrum. I'm gonna send out one more bat. Maybe it's over here somewhere. We found one of those things. Oh, it's a way station. Interesting. Alright, we'll hit up Carillon. It's safe-ish there. And then we'll continue trying. Maybe in this area. Or maybe we can come around this way. Behind all that stuff. I haven't seen the bat for a while, so maybe it's given up. We did smash it a couple times. Oh, there's a wrecked ship here. The Minnehaha Falls. We can pry open the door. We have a 100% chance. Excellent. What did we find? A slim class box. One gourd, of course, Sir Nectar. And we found a marauder. Oh. Come on. What is it doing? Well, that ended that marauder. I haven't seen the bat for a while, so I think we might be okay with that. We loot the hold, and we found a salon stewed gossip. Excellent. I don't think we even need to go to Carillon yet, do we? We still have a ton of food and fuel. Let's go look around more down here. There's another dead ship over this way. If we see the bat, we'll run. But I think it might be gone for now. We did shoot it twice, so it's bound to be mad at us, you would think. Also, I still hear like a leather scratching on leather sound. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's just the frost affecting our ship. But it's a very, like, unnerving sound. Let's read the ledger. This is another one of those caches. It's the same sort of thing as before, so... We're not going to raid the cache. We've read the ledger. We got a vision of heaven, and we're off. We did that same thing at the last station we were at, and I think it's the same story, basically. It's a place where you can take items or leave items. If you take items, you should leave items because karma does exist in this world, and it is bad news if you do not follow it properly. Still haven't found anything, though. Lustrum is a very elusive city, and we've explored a good chunk of the area. Could be in here, I guess, but... There's a couple horrors down in this section, which is not okay. I would really like to find this town we're looking for, though. We're getting close to a question mark, but I don't know what it is. And the fact that it's getting darker over here is not a great sign. It's diamonds, okay. Just gonna stop here while my bat does its thing. There is a port near here, okay. If this is Lustrum, I'll be happy. It seems so dark here and sort of... This is actually scary. It feels like we're actually going into the sky and there's nothing around us anymore. That was actually sort of unnerving. The mother of mountains bleeds ours. Can you take us to misery? A new port, Captain. 10 out of 11. Is this Lustrum? I think it is. Lustrum found. We needed to come here desperately. Alright, we have several things. How did he get here? He got here apparently before we did. Let's explore Lustrum first. Port report. What was briefly a modest, pleasant town on the Mother of Mountains now runs on increasingly desperate dreams of riches. Fools sell their futures for the chance to mine years from the mountain's frozen sides. Sharper minds sell pickaxes, supplies, and the promise of a warm bed at the end of a bitter's day work. Let's write a port report. Hours of the new gold in Albion and the Reach. While Lustrum's fortunes remain, it is of interest to many. So much for the quiet retirement village that used to be here. The rush of prospectors has ripped civility from the place as efficiently as geodes from the mountainside. The scars that remain are no less vivid. Fewer and fewer prospectors return with geodes of hours, and the cost of processing them off-site grows every day. Still, for now, Lustrum thrives and offers the promise of riches for any lucky or industrious miner willing to come and risk everything in the snow and the mud. Let us go to the bazaar first. We need to do that. We have done this munitions quest finally. We got a lot of extra money actually. We got $600 for selling them initially. And then we got an extra 100 sovereigns and 10 fortunes with tactities and some experience. An opportunity for fearless captains. Sweet Jane's counting house on Lustrum requires 5 crates of munitions in order to enforce a claim against the Windward Company. Remuneration generous. Lustrum lies to the southeast of New Winchester. We finally did it. We lost some reputation with the Windward Company, but I don't care too much about that. We can buy barrels of unseasoned hours here for cheap, and we needed 5 of them? Yes, but we only can buy 3. I'll buy all 3 that I can for cheap, and we might have to find some more that cost a little bit extra. Where do they want to go? Oh, Leadbeater and Stainrod, okay. I can buy the other 2 hours here as well. There. Now we have a total of 5 that we needed. We're gonna head towards that other place right after this, probably. Let's go take a look at the Prospector's Quarter. There was other things we needed to do here, wasn't there? I don't recall now. Let's explore Lustrum, though. Oh, right, we have to search for the amenable host's identity. That's what we were supposed to do here. Successful prospectors tend to leave their mark on the mountain. People remember those who want to, or who are able to leave, flush with hours. Okay. The locket is passed around the camps of prospectors. Most scratch their heads, others sigh and look away. An elderly prospector approaches, carrying her hat in her hands. You're the one looking for old Grey, she sighs. Long dead. Shot. South of the mountain. Wouldn't share his hours, fool. No point rising high on the mountain if there's no one at the bottom holding you up. Now we don't know who he is. We found all 3 places. We don't have any conclusive identity for him, though. Let's visit the pub, I think. The Hanged Man Pub. We can buy a round of drinks for the miners. It would cost us 10 gold. We might as well. Prospectors are not trusting people. Every new arrival is more competition. But while the drinks last, you're welcome to sit at their table. Let's listen to the gossip about recent troubles. It's them windward bastards, ain't it? Didn't mind them sending around their netties. Honest competition. Lads enjoyed the distraction. But did you see the size of that Parsifal lad? The miners huddle. They weren't windward. That's them night hunters they talk of. Tearing folks up with their claws and teeth and eating them whole. All you see is a black rush before your eyes and then snap. Grim. There's a figure in the corner. It sits wrapped in dusty, disintegrating shroud, nursing a flagon that never goes to where its lips presumably are. The cloaked figure beckons you to you. Valuables for sale, it wheezes, its voice throaty and high-pitched. Exchange for buried time, yes, please. It offers unusual relics in exchange, or a few rusted coins that would barely buy transport to anywhere else. Let's talk to Mr. Pennies. The miners tried to ignore it, but it must have some reason to bother setting up its stall here. Everything ends, the figure wheezes, even law. For everything, a reckoning. Need help, need hours. Postpone reckoning. Shadows with thistle ropes and broken wings, waiting on a riverbed to try and catch final breath. Everything dies, must outlast. We trade, yes, trade hours, we trade hours now, yes. Good quality merchandise. I don't really want your merchandise. I need the hours to trade somewhere else. Let's speak with the weary Why are you so expensive? I'm gonna try to find my own claim. We can recruit a rat brigade? What? Oi, down here! 3 rats glower up at you from below a table where spilled beer has trickled down to form a rat-reachable puddle. The small, most scarred rat is called Cinders. She introduces her companions. This, she indicates the rat wearing goggles, is my second, Petronella, our mechanic. She gestures towards a rat with glossy fur, and this is our agent provocateur, Albrecht. The hat inclines his head. We need a locomotive. These battle-hardened rats are all that remains of the Rat Regiment, a mercenary company active in the early days of the Winchester War. Used to be a dozen of us. Best sappers around, says Cinders. Now look at us. Time for that later. We'll pay you, Captain. Sure, why not? Apparently they're on our ship now anyways. We didn't have a choice. Let's return to the street. We can seek a claim. It's only $10. Wait. It costs $100 to stake a claim if we find one. We'll have to do that later, I guess. We could also... We don't have enough irons to try and get up the mountain. Let's visit the Windward Company. Tensions between the company and the Tacadies grow by the day. The poison air coming from the Windward's processing factory is only the latest insult. The Windward Company is not the first to begin harvesting the mountain, but no other came in harder or faster once the hours were detected. The company began bribing prospectors to sign over successful claims, even offering to tell process-looking prospectors hours in their huge factory ovens. But netty men are cheap, and big sticks even cheaper. As the claims began running out, things changed quickly. Now the whole facility is out of bounds. The guard is uninterested in any business you might have. No, she does not know who you are or care who you may be friends with. This branch is a closed facility. Certainly it is closed to you. We'll visit Murgatroyd's Golden Tea Shop, an oasis of London civility and culture in a town with little of either. Melusine Murgatroyd stands proudly behind the display of fresh scones and slightly yellowing cream buns. At small wooden tables, successful prospectors and their significant others welcome themselves to the world of the nouveau riche with a spot of afternoon tea. Pinky fingers stand proud and erect from bone china cups covertly topped with moonshine. Let's speak to her. She single-handedly runs both the business and the family business, unless you count the small gaggle of overworked and underpaid maids, which Melusine does not. Smelling faintly of burnt hair, she tinkers with the latest invention, intended to be her ticket out of both this no-horse town and her father's control. Eyebrows, she confirms, are a small price to pay for scientific progress. Let's take a look at the inventions, I guess. Melusine glows with pride as you examine her mostly untested inventions. The clockwork lens array that offers superhuman levels of telescopic sight, provided you can insert all 6 sharp brass hooks under your eyelids. Grim. The internal combustion privy, ideal for handling unpleasant waste products and warming whatever's left of your house after the inevitable explosion. An automated pickaxe capable of striking Earth 7 times a second. Melusine nods, irritated. Pity about that minor bone-shattering issue. The only thing she won't let you poke at is a twisted arrangement of glassware and electricity in the corner. That's not mine, not entirely. Still working on that. Complicated. You know if you know. If you don't, I shouldn't say. Okay. Well, we're gonna leave Melusine. Thank you. We're not recruiting the navigator. We already have a first officer. We do need some fuel and some supplies. And we're off. I think we have 2 places to go. We need to go to Magdalene's. And we also need to go to Stainrod and Leadbeaters, or Leadbeater and Stainrods. We're gonna go the long way around. The safer, longer way around, I think, is going to be our goal. We're at 25 minutes. What I might do is just pause the video here, or I guess end the video here. Travel all the way around, avoiding the bats if I can. Go through the existential crisis of traveling through this void, and finally head to turn in some quests. We're getting some good money though. We have a little over $1,800, well, probably a little less than $1,800 now. We do have a mining drill, but we don't have enough cargo space for it, so such is life, I suppose. I'm gonna stop in Carillon on the way as well. Just grab a port report. I think maybe I did get one already. Did I get a port report for Carillon? I got one for Lustrum and the reserve. Nope. Okay, I'll stop in Carillon, grab a report, go there, we'll hit Titania, and then we'll hit Magdalene's, and then we'll go back to New Winchester probably, something along those lines. I'll leave you guys here. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. I'll see you all next time. Take care.